It's lights out and away we go. So welcome wherever you are to another region, another round, another rendezvous with the 11th Udaan Business Leadership Quiz. After exchanging some pleasantries before going live, mutual appreciation now gives way to some competitive antipathy. Dog eats dog, for the game is afoot. At the back of some fine performance in the preliminary rounds, our contestants from the northern part of the country are all set to build their own quizzing resumes that already stand on strong foundations, set to find that magic touch again, and set themselves up for a memorable national final that follows today's Northern Zonal final for them. Well, I could go on and on, for the word set has over 400 definitions, but I think we should settle down and begin with the quiz now. I am your host and quizmaster for the day, Ajay Poonia. For those who missed out on last week, we did the East and the West zone rounds, which were poles apart in the manner of qualification for the two qualifiers from each one of them. While the East zone qualifiers had it easy, the West zone saw a scramble at the end for the second qualifying spot, and the one who was trailing before we started the last round eventually qualified at the very last question. I think there's a lesson in there, a lesson that we saw in yesterday's thrilling Formula One season ender. It's not over until it's over. We'll kickstart today's program by thanking our sponsors. The Udaan Business Quiz is presented by Steel Authority of India Limited, National HRD Network Ranchi Chapter, and National HRD Network. Our associate sponsor is NTPC Limited. Zonal sponsors Tata Communications and SMS Group. National prize sponsors Hexagon and MD India. And zonal prize sponsors UPRNNL and Sarvesh Refractory. And special feature to the North Zone sponsor SMS Group. Thank you to each one of you. Thank you for making this year's edition happen. Now, join me in welcoming the Giga-brained group participating today. 4 of these qualified last year for the zonal rounds as well. So, polite applause for the consistency. As participant 1 from Barclays is Rohan Khanna. Joining him as participant number 2 from Bokaro Steel Sale is Anand Raj. And also from Sale Bokaro is our next participant, that's Shubham Verma. Then across as participant number 4, coming from Ernst & Young is Ayush Awasthi. Then as participant number 5 today from Bokaro Sale is Rahul Ranjan Panda. And completing the lineup today from Sale Bokaro is Subhasish Kispotta. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Barclays versus EY versus an organization that churns out champion quizzers by the dozen. Sale. Past reputations, however, count for little. For the contestants begin the program with a clean slate on the scoreboard, which means you have to build your stack from scratch. But if you stumble at any moment, you leave the door open for others to walk right through. Or as the flavor of the season goes, use DRS and slingshot away. There's great satisfaction in being the winner today, but the joy is also in the journey. So before I let questions off the hook, I'd like to welcome the bedrock of Udaan, Dr. Kamakshi Raman, Executive Director, HRD, Management Training Institute, SAIL. She's also the president of National HRD Network, Ranchi Chapter. Ma'am, please.
Yeah, very good evening to all of you and a warm welcome on behalf of NHRD Ranchi Chapter. Good to see all of you. And just to look back, we started in a very small, humble way, 2011, with just around 26 teams participating in Udaan that time, mostly from companies around Ranchi. From a Ranchi-based event, this has really grown from strength to strength. Today is a sought-after national level competition. Thanks to all of you for all the encouragement and the participation. This year, we have had 360 participants, Udaan 2021, and from about 50 companies plus. Hearty congratulations to all the 6 of you for coming up to this level, finalists in the North Zone. Like Ajay was saying, we have had some very interesting trends last week, both in the Eastern and the Western Zone. While the East Zone competition was good, very fascinating, close in the beginning, later towards the end, it became very skewed. So we already knew who the clear winner was. Unlike the Eastern Zone competition, the West Zone had a very different dynamics at play. It was evenly fought in the beginning, gradually became a very roller coaster ride, not a very clear winner emerging, till suddenly towards the end, it took a very different turn. So quizzing is like cricket or football. Every game becomes very, very interesting because it brings in its own dynamics. So it becomes a treat to watch for the audience and for all of you as participants. I'm sure Ajay gets a lot of thrill behind the real ringmaster behind all this. So, like I always say, prizes are just incidental. What is important is the spirit of the game, enjoy the game, play with all your might, and remember, like you were saying, it's not over till it is over. खोल दो पंख मेरे अभी और उड़ान बाकी है खोल दो पंख मेरे अभी और उड़ान बाकी है जमी नहीं है मंजिल मेरी अभी तो पूरा आसमान बाकी है. Thank you very much. Over to you, Ajay, to carry it forward. Best wishes to all of you.
Thank you, ma'am. Dr. Kamakshi Raman's signature style will surely encourage our participants to give their best. For what they do in their lives today will echo in eternity. Contestants, very simply, the winner and the first runner-up qualify for the national final. And like Formula One yesterday, there can only be one winner. But unlike them, there won't be no going Dutch today. Oh dear, I'm really overdoing the F1 analogy here. Guess I should stop. But please remember, the winner will win rupees 25,000 and the runner-up rupees 15,000. For the rest, who don't make it through, you will be receiving a prize of rupees 5,000 each. Right? So there's a lot to play for. Of course, lest I miss out, to our audience who are watching us well, alongside cheering your favorite contestants, you can participate and win some prizes too. All you need to do is follow at NHRDN on Twitter. Listen to the audience question that I will be asking after every round. Please do respond with your answer on Twitter on that very same question posted from the NHRDN handle along with the hashtag Udaan 2021. Please remember it should include, must include Udaan 2021 hashtag. And of course, there's gift vouchers for the winner, the fastest correct answer. Remember, we keep getting multiple correct answers from the same participant, but there is only one winner per quiz, per audience question. So for every quiz that we're doing as part of Udaan, there's only one prize that you can win as audience members in each of these quizzes. So even if you give 3 correct answers for all the questions that I put to you as audience, you'll get to win one. We'll let other prizes be won by others. Right? So that's the idea behind this. We're all set now. We're all ready to rumble and reveal the first round of the total 4 rounds that we will play. I hope the participants are all set to begin. This round, our first of 4 rounds, is called Crossword. 6 questions on the buzzer in a crossword. 15 seconds of time is what you will get per question to hit the buzzer. 3 buzzers maximum per question. Points, first on the buzzer gets 10, second on the buzzer gets 7, third on the buzzer gets 4. Please remember, there's a negative for a wrong answer. It's a -5 for giving me a wrong answer. That remains common. Even if you're the first one to give a wrong answer or the third one to give the wrong answer. The negative remains common, right? And constant. So that's what the first round is all about. We'll begin first by taking a look at the crossword that has to be solved. I'll request participants to keep their phones up so that we can see that you're not furiously typing on it, but are only keeping it up for the sake of hitting the buzzer. But every time you have to just keep it up for 15 seconds. I mean, if you press the buzzer, then you can put it down. If you're not interested in giving the answer, you can put it down. But otherwise, just keep it up 15 seconds every time. Then bring it down. Then the next question comes, bring it up. You know the drill. Let's move on. First question, it's a 7-letter answer. 1 down on your screen now. Simply connect. See so many logos, connect. I have given a lot of hints already. The first question of the North Zone round. Connect all these brands. Like I said, I've given a lot of hints. On the buzzer first is Anand Raj from Sale Bokaro. Yes, Anand? No answer, Anand. That's a negative. I'll move on to the next person on the buzzer, and that is Rohan. Rohan from Barclays.
I'll say Red Bull. These are all sponsors of the Red Bull Racing F1 team.
And you were closely following all the opening speech that I gave, and I said that I've given a lot of hints already. This is indeed Red Bull Racing. Fabulous answer there, Rohan. I don't know if you're a big Formula One fan or if you saw the fabulous race yesterday, but certainly it keeps you in good stead to listen to when I begin a quiz. There's always clues coming in. Like I said, I've already given a fair bit of clues already. It is indeed Red Bull Racing. These are all the technical partners that made their championship yesterday possible. That's a lovely answer there, Rohan. Since you were the second on the buzzer, gets you a 7, right? And Anand, since you did not really give me any answer, that's a negative for you, a -5, but I'm sure lots of opportunities coming for you to come back into this game. 4 rounds in all, just done with first question, first round. This was Red Bull Racing. 7 points to Rohan, -5 to Anand. That's how we begin this quiz. We'll move on to placing Red Bull on the crossword. Right, we go to 2.
Sorry, can the buzzer be reset, Ajay?
Yeah.
Sorry.
We'll go to 2 down, right? So nothing's visible on screen yet for the second one. Here's your question. This is the logo of a super secretive members only club opened few months after the death of the founder. Currently, they're at Tokyo, Shanghai, and California. Its membership is said to be $50,000 and $50,000 to begin with, and then $25,000 annually. Where would you be if you are attending this club? It's a super secretive members only club, so we're not quite sure what exactly is the membership amount, but some estimates or some inside info or some people say that this is the amount. Where would you be if you're attending this club? Nobody showing any interest. The answer that I was looking for is, these are all hidden clubs within the overall large entity in question, and that is Disneyland. Right, so these are all super secretive members only club, as secretive as, you know, not even the North Zone finalists could know of it, right? So really secretive, which means. So this was Disneyland. I'll place Disneyland in the crossword. Now we go to 3 across. The 4th letter is E and the second last is I on your screen now. This is a 3D model of Gaza post the Gaza-Israel conflict, founded by a British-Israeli architect at the University of London and derived from a Latin word for in open court. What is his research group called that makes such 3D models to investigate cases of state violence and human rights violation? E and I is already there, derives from Latin for in open court? Anybody trying? 3 seconds remaining. Well, doesn't look like anybody's interested. The answer that I was looking for is forensic architecture. It's called forensic architecture. You sort of recreate in 3D models and help, authorities to identify how and what went wrong, right? So that's forensic architecture, derives from in open court, forensis, right? From Latin. Let's place forensic. Nobody trying. 2 questions went begging. We'll go to 4 across. It's a 5-letter answer. The 4th letter is B. Here it is on your screen now. Measuring the quality of software code, what index that unfortunately just relies on search engine hits, but still is a widely quoted index, gets its name from the acronym of a farcical comic Irish play? Gets its name from the acronym of a farcical comic Irish play. 5 letters. It's a rather long name for the Irish play, but it's the acronym is what I'm looking for. That's the name of this software code ranking index. Nobody showing any interest on the buzzer. So I'll have to close this. The answer is the importance of being earnest, or TOB index. That's the answer. Nobody got this. So I will move on to the next one. Before that, I'll place TIOBE in the crossword. And now we move on to 4 down, which basically starts with the letter T. It's a 5-letter answer. So you know the initial. It's T, 5 letters on your screen now. In an on-ground research by Paytm, they found no shopkeepers wanted to use the Kirana digitization apps because their workflow consists of GBT, or Galla, Bahi and T. Galla is cash maintenance and handover when there is change of shift between the owners. Bahi is the record of debt to customers and made to suppliers. And T, which is what you have to tell me, is reported income. What is T? Galla, Bahi and T. 5 letters. Just trying. Anybody is interested? On the buzzer is Ayush. Yes, from Ernst & Young. Ayush, what's your answer?
I'll say tally.
Galla, Bahi and Tally. That is correct. That's the answer. That's well done there. Ayush gets you a +10, gets you registered on the scoreboard as well. Thank you for answering. 3 questions went by without any answers. Feels a little odd. But thank you there for answering. Good answer there. Ayush gets you a +10. You're on the scoreboard as well. I'll place Tally on the crossword. We'll move on now to 5 across. It's a 6-letter answer in plural form, right? So even if you give me in singular form, it's okay. So obviously the last letter is S because I'm saying that it's plural, but you can give me the answer in singular. Both are okay. Right, here's your question. In 2018, D&G brought some new models for the catwalk at Milan Fashion Week. Being rookies in the industry, it was to be taken care that the models approach the ramp properly and do not fall. Although they only carried D&G handbags, it took significant time preparing them and the show was delayed by hours. My question is, who were these models? On the buzzer is Rohan from Barclays.
Drones.
Is perfect. That's the answer. These were indeed drones, right? So you had drones walking down the ramp holding handbags. Good answer there. And so they were had to be really careful that these models don't fall. So unfortunately for them, it sort of was, the show was delayed, but it certainly was a show that we can, got them good PR, and 3 years hence, we could ask them in this fine quiz that we're a part of. Well done there, Rohan. Gets you a +10 after that 7 that you got at the very beginning of this round, and we ended with a 10-pointer. So that's how this round ends, with Rohan collecting a +10. The 6 questions done. We'll move on quickly now to round number 2. Round 2 is called Challengers Deep. Now, We're all going to test your mettle. You're all going to challenge each other. I'll tell you how. Every participant will get a direct question starting from Rohan, finishing with Subhasish. 10 seconds is what the others have to challenge the direct participant. Even if you don't hit the buzzer in the first 10 seconds, you're not registered as a challenger, but you can still hit the buzzer in the subsequent 10 seconds. But this time you're not as a challenger, you're answering only on the buzzer. So if the direct participant does not give me the right answer, question passes to you for +5 and -5. But if you're a challenger, you get to answer for +10 and -10. That is only if the direct participant rejects the challenge that you've presented. But if the direct participant accepts the challenge you've presented, the direct participant is then answering for +10 and -10. If they're wrong, the question will still pass to you, but still a +10, -10, your scores will remain intact if you get it right, even though the challenge was accepted. But if you get a wrong answer, you get a -10 and question passes to the next one on the buzzer. Maximum 3 buzzers allowed, including the challenger and other participants on the buzzer for +5 and -5. But if there's no challenge, you don't have to fear negatives. You can just tell me what the answer is and I'll give you points if you're correct, no negatives if you're wrong. And that's about it. After the challenge, if the challenger gives a wrong answer, question will come back to the direct participant, but this time only for 5 points, not for 10, as was the case before the challenge. So if you're all set, Rohan, first is your question. Everybody else on the buzzer. It will be a 2-part question. So if anybody is interested in challenging, needs to give me both parts. If Rohan wants to collect all 10 or 5, whatever the case may be, you have to give me both parts. Rohan, if you're ready, please unmute.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Others on the buzzer. Last year, a certain university started a half-a-year course to teach doctors how to treat people under the influence of X1. X1 is the English of X2. So I don't want to keep them X and Y, just X1 and X2, either is fine, as part of its Ayurveda wing. However, due to misrepresentation and expected controversy, they attempted to change the name to Ayurvedic Psychiatry from X2 Vidya, right? So blank Vidya, which university, and fill in the blank. Waiting for somebody to present a challenge. I need the name of the university and you to fill in the blank. X1 and X2 is just English Hindi of the same word. Rohan, there's no challenge coming from anyone, so you can give me the answer without the fear of negatives. 10 points if you're right. Others can still hit the buzzer. Rohan, I need an answer. 3 seconds.
I'll say Patanjali University and homeopathy.
And what would be the Hindi of
Ayush.
homeopathy, Rohan? What's the Hindi of homeopathy, Rohan?
No idea, not homeopathy, but maybe Ayush or something.
Maybe Ayush. Okay, Ayush, what's the answer? No. Right. Bad joke. All right.
Not homeopathy, Ayush. Patanjali and Ayush.
And what's the English of Ayush? Ayush?
No idea.
Ayush, do you know the English of your name? Okay, I'm done with the bad jokes for the day. Okay, the answer is Banaras Hindu University and Bhoot Vidya. Right, so ghosts or Bhoot, so Bhoot Vidya or Banaras Hindu University. Either one was okay, and you know, our media just loves to blow things out of proportion. This was one snapshot that I took from one media channel. Anyway, so this was Banaras Hindu University and Bhoot Vidya. No points to anyone. Next question will be direct to Anand. Anand, if you're ready. I don't want to scare you, Anand, and others, but essentially it's a 7-part question. That's 7 divided into 2, right? So divided into 2, it's a 7-part question. For the first half, you have to give me all. For the second half, you can just tell me what the overall group means. Although you can tell me the entire 7, I will be amazed, you know, and I will stand up and applaud and all that. I will do all that you want me to do. But just tell, I need the breakup of the first part, and you can tell me what the overall group is for the second part. There's going to be a lot of clues, so don't worry when I'm saying 7-part question. It's all connected, so it's not unrelated 7 things. Right, so others on the buzzer, same thing for you as well. Here's my question. Few weeks ago, At the launch of a new product, the owner of B in BET said he would bet on BET or bet on bet as they have proved their capabilities. And champions eat oats for breakfast. Incidentally, the next day was National Oatmeal Day in US. So the A of oats tweeted this that you see in the picture. What are the B, E, and T of bet, and thus what rival group are oats? You have challenge coming from Subhasish. Anand, what do you want to do?
I accept the challenge.
All right. So Anand, what is your answer? Plus 10, minus 10. You're answering, right? That's what you meant by accepting?
No. I mean, I want him to answer.
Okay. So that means rejecting the challenge. Just confirming your terminology. Subhasish, what's your answer?
Bet is Bajaj, Enfield, and TVS.
Oats.
Oats is Ola.
You can tell me what is the rival group about?
Electric vehicles.
Okay. And now you want to expand oats?
Ola, Ether, and I'm forgetting the last two one.
Right. So perhaps lesser known, which is why for the second half I said that, okay, it's fine. You can just tell me what the overall group is about. That's a fabulous answer there, Subhasish. Absolutely. So that was Rajiv Bajaj speaking about Bajaj, Enfield, and TVS as I will bet on bet, and champions eat oats for breakfast. And that was launched by Oats. The logo of Ather was hidden, but you anyway spotted it. So that's great. So that was one clue that I wanted to give in the image. That's well done there, Subhasish. You open your account with a 10-pointer. That's very good. And Anand, because he answered, so he gets all 10. Nothing really left for you. So this was bet and oats. Those were the 7 parts. So like I said, although 7 parts, but still close enough for you to be able to have a go at it. Well done, Subhasish. 10 points to you. Next question will be a direct to Shubham. Shubham, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Here is your question. 2-part question. Others interested? You need to give me 2 parts. All right, Shubham, here's your question. In 1990s, it was brought to the lead scientist's attention that a certain testing was adversely affecting wildlife of the region. The testing caused bright lights, which is disorienting to the coastal wildlife. He paid heed to this and decided to mask the lights during nesting season. What specific wildlife is this? And what is the facility located near the wildlife spot, now named after the scientist above? You have challenge coming from Ayush from Ernst & Young. Shubham, what do you want to do?
I will reject the challenge.
All right. Ayush, what is your answer?
I'll say for the scientist, this is APJ Abdul Kalam.
Okay.
And this is the island named after him, and the wildlife will be the olive ridley turtles.
Is perfect. That's the answer. That's well done there, Ayush. Absolutely. The olive ridley turtles, then known as Wheeler Island on the west coast of India and Orissa, and east coast of India. East coast of India and Orissa, Wheeler Island, later renamed to Dr. Abdul Kalam Island. Absolutely wonderful there, Ayush. Gets you a full 10 points for that. Very good. Next question will be a direct for Ayush. Ayush. This one's your direct. Please unmute Ayush. Okay, others on the buzzer. 2-part question for others as well and for Ayush as well. Here's your question. Short and sweet. These are the last few persons to hold a certain government post, left to right in order. What post and who's the current holder? You have challenge coming from Anand. 3 seconds, Ayush. Take a decision quick.
I'll let him answer.
Anand, what is your answer?
This is Chief Economic Advisor, and the current one is Krishnamurthy Subramaniam.
Is perfect. That's the answer. That's well done, Anand. You couldn't get your direct answer, but you got Ayush's answer. So that's lovely. Chief Economic Advisor Krishnamurthy Subramanian, starting with Arvind Virmani to Arvind Subramanian. Oh yeah. There's a Subramanian, there's an Arvind Virmani, and there's an Arvind Subramanian. This could be a quiz question for another day. All right, I'll note it down later. Okay, so that's the answer. That's well done, Anand. Good answer. Pouncing on an opportunity left by Ayush. Next question will be a direct to Rahul from Sale Bokaro. Rahul, if you're ready.
Yes.
It's a single part question, not two parts, but you have to give me a reason for this. Okay, Rahul, you don't have to hit the buzzer, so you can relax your fingers. Here's your question, Rahul. Others on the buzzer. The design of the Bailey's Irish Cream liqueur bottle has been the same since its launch in 1974. In 2013, however, it was made slimmer in the design, as you can see, for the first and only time in its history. My question is why? Why did they slim it down? For what practical purpose? They realized it from a certain demography, and so they slimmed it down. Why? There's a challenge coming from Ayush. Rahul, what do you want to do?
I'll let him answer.
Ayush, what's your answer?
I think this is for the female population. So they made it less bulkier and slimmer.
So how do they benefit?
I mean, it's easy to carry and easy to hold. So
Why? Why is it difficult for women to carry something that's thicker?
I don't want to sound.
You don't have to, because that is, I'm not going in any direction like that.
Oh,
All right.
yeah, you said demographics, so I'll guess that it
Yeah,
is
so
easy to carry and
for the
easy to
sake
carry
of a
in
certain, for the
their
sake of
purse.
a certain demography.
Yeah, yeah.
Why? So what about women? So what?
So I think it is easy to carry in purses.
Easy to carry? All right, that's a -10. Question goes back to Rahul.
You said demography, something about demography, right?
Yeah, because it was preferred for a certain demography. Your time is up, Rahul, but you can still give an answer. I won't give you points.
I think maybe to fit somewhere like in fridge or something.
That is the answer that I was looking for, but it came to you after more than a minute had passed. They identified that women tend to consume Bailey's chilled. Ayush got that part correct, but that's not a reason enough, right? So you had to tell me that it could be stored easily in a fridge, and quite the opposite of what Ayush said. He said carry around, but it's actually easier to store that way, right? So Ayush, that's a -10. Rahul, although you eventually did give the right answer, but that was way past the time that I could have accepted it. So I don't give you a negatives, but you don't get positives either. -10 to Ayush on that one. Final question will be direct to Subhasish, who's already scored a 10er in this round. Subhasish, it's a two-part question. All right, it's a two-part question. Here is my question for you and for others for challenge or on the buzzer. One of these terms is derived from the American version. The other term, in the same context, actually lends its meaning to something similar in Japan, Korea, and Vietnam. The country's trade with the Western world is the primary reason why there are two variants for these, one for medium of exchange and the other for unit of account. What am I speaking of? One for medium of exchange, other for unit of account. Countries' trade with the Western world is the primary reason why two variants exist. Nobody's challenging Subhasish. You can give the answer without the fear of negatives. Question still open on the buzzer for +5, -5. Subhasish, your answer is?
Pass.
Nothing?
Nothing.
No. One for medium of exchange, the other for unit of account. And I'm guessing teams will regret or participants will regret missing this. The answer is, why are there two names for the Chinese currency? The yuan and the renminbi. The renminbi is the medium of exchange. The yuan is the unit of account, right? So that's the answer that I was looking for. Hard luck perhaps was a question that, or an answer that was still in the vicinity, I would imagine, for these fine participants from the north. But unfortunately, nobody got this. We'll move on to our audience question. All right, audience, if you're all set, you know the drill. You have to give the answer on the same tweet where this question is posted. And my question is, a Stradivarius is one of the string instruments built by members of the Italian family Stradivari. According to their reputation, the quality of their sound has defied attempts to explain or equal it, though this belief is disputed. Although famous in Italy and around, my question is, what made them suddenly burst into limelight in Victorian England? what made them burst suddenly into limelight in Victorian England? Due to their appearance in what? Right, let me try to simplify it even more. All right, so with 2 rounds done, we will take a look at the scores. Before we move on to our third round, taking a look at the scores is very important because the next round will be played on the basis of where you stand on the scoreboard at this point in time. Right, I hope you're back. We'll take a look at the scoreboard. So this is what the scoreboard looks like. It's Rohan who's currently leading with a score of 17. Anand who's currently second with a score of 5. Shubham yet to open his account. Ayush with a positive and a negative is on 10. And Rahul still to open his account. And Subhasish also is yet to open his account. Right, so those are the scores at this point. Rohan, yeah, Subhasish?
My score is 10.
Yes, you are at 10. Did you see a different score on the scoreboard?
I thought I heard you said, yeah, I am yet to open my account.
No, Rahul, did I say that? Okay, my apologies. You're at 10, Rahul is at 0. I'll do this again. 17 is Rohan, 10 and 10, Ayush and Subhasish, Anand at 5, Shubham and Rahul at 0. I hope I got that one right. Okay. My apologies if I sort of read it wrong. Okay, we'll continue. Those are the scores at this point, and which means I'll define the order of asking questions in round number 3, which is where we headed now. This round is called How's That? I'll be pairing you on the basis of your scores. So when I pair you, it's a round that's inspired by cricket. One of you will be the batter, the other one will be the bowler. Then we move on to the second innings. The bowler becomes the batter becomes the bowler. The bowler will pick a topic from the given topics that I will display shortly. The batter has to give the right answer for 10 points. But if you don't give a right answer, I don't give you a negative immediately. We wait to see what the bowler does. The bowler gives the right answer, bowler gets 5, you get a -5. But if neither one of you give a wrong answer, neither one of you give me a right answer, question passes on the buzzer for +5 if you're correct, -5 if you're wrong, and maximum 3 buzzers allowed. Right, so possible 5 people, 5 of the participants can give answers on this question. We'll take a look at the topics and define the order of playing the matches. So first match will be between Rohan versus Ayush. Ayush, you will be picking a topic for Rohan. Second match will be between Subhasish and Anand. Both of you happen to team up generally in quizzes. This time we've separated you, but still we'll team you up, right? We're not going to separate you, but this time you'll be pitted against each other. Anyway, we'll do more jokes on that later. And third match will be played between Shubham and Rahul, right? So that's how we'll pair you up. First match between Ayush and Rohan. Ayush, please pick a topic for Rohan. Please remember, if you pick a very tricky topic, question will come back to you. Just keep that in mind.
Game theory.
Game theory. Rohan, if you're ready. Others on the buzzer, +5, -5. Ayush, you don't need to hit the buzzer. It will come to you if Rohan leaves it for you. Here's your question, Rohan. What game theory problem describes the difficulty decentralized parties have in arriving at consensus without relying on a trusted central party? A prime example of this problem is money. How should a society establish money that all members of a society can trust and agree upon? So this is a visual example of a certain game theory problem in the case of decentralized parties, when they intend to arrive at a consensus without relying on a trusted central party. Rohan, I need an answer.
If there's no negative, right? I mean,
nothing right now, Rohan. No answer coming from you. I will.
Can I attempt?
Please, quick.
It's like the prisoner's dilemma. I mean, everyone
is incorrect. Passes to Ayush.
This is the Byzantine problem, which was solved by a blockchain by Nakamoto.
Is correct. That's the answer. This is the Byzantine generals problem, to be specific, but I'll give you for saying the Byzantine problem. So essentially the problem what it's trying to say is that, there's a Byzantine army who's trying to attack a fort. And so the only way you can succeed is if you attack the fort from all sides. But if one of your, leaders of the army is, slightly lazy or sort of falls behind and does not attack at the same time, then you will not be able to succeed. Even if all parts of the forts are attacked at the same time, you will still not succeed in conducting the successful attack. So the Byzantine generals problem essentially defines this, and Satoshi Nakamoto and Bitcoin essentially solves this problem. That's the idea behind the Byzantine generals problem. Why it's called Byzantine is, there's no clear, it's just hearsay and legend, but that's the name that's been given to it. That's well done, Ayush. Gets you a +5 and a -5 to Rohan. For when the bowler answers, the batter gets a -5. So +5 Ayush, -5 Rohan. However, Rohan, you can get your points back. If the process repeats, you get to pick a topic for Ayush.
Automotive history.
Automotive history, Ayush. Question for you. Please unmute. Here's your question. This is the Daimler Victoria. Launched in 1897, it was one of the first cars to be marketed specifically as a cab and the first one to be equipped with a then revolutionary technology that till date remains a bone of contention amongst regulators and operators. First one to be equipped with what then revolutionary technology? Till date, a bone of contention amongst regulators and operators. Ayush, I need an answer, 2 seconds. No answer. Question goes back to Rohan.
This is like a meter to track distance, which can now get rigged, etc., which is why the controversy. But I mean, as a cab, it had like a measuring instrument or a taximeter to actually measure distance and therefore charge passengers accordingly.
Is correct. That's the answer that I was looking for. It was the first taxi with a taximeter. Like I said, it's something that's still a bone of contention amongst regulators and operators. So essentially, long and short of this match was status quo, right? So nothing really happened. 5 points this time to Rohan, -5 to Ayush, right? So we're back to where we started. Well done, both of you. Right, up to the challenge for each other. Next match will be between the two from Bokaro, Anand versus Subhasish. Anand, you get to pick a topic first for your long-time pal, Subhasish.
Controversial advertisements.
Controversial advertisements. Subhasish, if you're ready. Here's your question. Others on the buzzer. They made an ad which was wildly successful for the brand being advertised, but he was arrested and jailed. The court case went on for 14 years and was eventually dismissed. According to him, the ad was news on every front page and was great for the brand, but embarrassing for him when his mother exclaimed, "My son is a pornographer." What ad is this?
I'm guessing Milind Soman ad for the tough shoe ad.
So what was happening in that ad?
There was a male, a female, and a cobra.
Of?
Tough shoe for tough shoes.
It was a photograph of tough shoes. You only saw tough shoes in that.
Milind Soman was there, and I'm forgetting that lady, this model's name.
All right, I'll give that to you. That's the answer that I was looking for. This is indeed the tough shoes ad with Milind Soman and Madhu Sapre, both appearing naked, and I'm guessing they were dating at that time. The gentleman and lady in question were the people who were behind the ad, who were the creative brains behind it, Ashok Kurian and LC Nanji. That's well done, Subhasish. Gets you a +10. And now you'll get to pick a topic for Anand.
Streaming apps.
All right, streaming apps. This is for you, Anand. In September, an unlikely company ventured into streaming business with a Plus branded platform. Their aim is to give opportunities for professionals to learn new lessons and hear from the most inspirational leaders in their particular field. Which company is this? An unlikely company ventured into streaming business with a Plus branded platform.
Just guessing, this is maybe LinkedIn.
LinkedIn. That's incorrect. Goes to Subhasish. Do you have an answer? Subhasish, no answer coming. All right. On the buzzer is Ayush.
I'll say LinkedIn.
Oh, well, he already said LinkedIn. I'm
Who's
guessing he already said LinkedIn. I'm guessing you did not pay attention, Ayush. That's a negative. Oh dear, bad miss. This wasn't LinkedIn. Anand already covered that, so it had to be something else. Unfortunately, Ayush, I'll still have to give you a negative. I'm hoping that you're paying attention to what's happening in this quiz and not bothered with something else. That's a negative, Ayush. -5 to you. Nobody else on the buzzer. The answer that I was looking for is Salesforce. Was Salesforce venturing into streaming business, but everything related to learning and development in the sphere of business. So this was Salesforce plus. Hard luck, Ayush, -5, and nothing to Anand there. So no negatives, Anand, but a -5 to Ayush. Final match will be to the two from Sale Bokaro, the two remaining, Shubham and Rahul. I'll go to, what do I go to first? Anybody was on? No, both were at 0. So Shubham goes first. Sorry, Rahul goes first, picks a topic for Shubham.
Cancer.
Cancer. All right, Shubham, this is a question for you. Please unmute. Others on the buzzer. ZBTB7 is a gene that is responsible for the proliferation of cancer throughout surrounding cells. The gene is unique in that it is needed for other oncogenes to cause cancer. The discovery of the gene was first published in the January 2005 issue of Nature magazine. It was originally called poker thyroid myeloid ontogenic factor, but was renamed to ZBTB7. My question, why was it renamed?
Sorry, no clue.
No answer. Goes to Rahul. Rahul, no answer.
No, no, I have an answer. I think, is it something related to Pokemon or something like some
Why would you say Pokemon?
poker thyroid? Maybe poker thyroid something. I'm not sure.
All right. Why would you say Pokemon?
Maybe from Pokemon, poker thyroid, pokery thyroid or thyroid.
So what does thyroid and Pokemon have to do with each other?
Just pokey thing, maybe, I'm not sure.
And
Maybe that's like some kind of trademark issue or something.
so where do you go from Pokey? After that, where do you go?
From Pokey I go to Pokemon. And
How?
that's it. POKE.
Okay. And what about the MON?
Just POKE.
All right. I'll give that to you. That's a +5 there, Rahul. That's well done. Now you see how the Pokemon is arrived at. There's a M from myeloid. There's a ON from ontogenic. So there was a threat of legal action presented by Pokemon US. That's a good answer, Rahul. Although you really struggled with it, you only went with Pokey, and then perhaps you thought the first 4 letters had some copyright issue. Those were certain keywords that you gave, so I'll give that to you. That's a +5, Rahul, but I expect better. Unfortunately, in online quizzes, just guesswork and I read it somewhere doesn't quite cut it, right? So I need somewhat better than that, but I'll give that to you this time. So that's a +5 to you, Rahul, and a -5 to Shubham. When the bowler answers, batter loses points. So +5 Rahul, -5 Shubham. Next question will be decided by Shubham, and you can pay him back in equal terms, Shubham, if you want.
Iconic bridges.
Iconic bridges. Rahul, this is a question for you, others on the buzzer. The original contract to build a certain bridge was rupees 800,000, but when actually implemented, the cost worked out to be double that. This led to the commissioner of the bridge refusing payment. You won't get so much as a nickel out of me to which the contractor responded with getting an injunction against destroying the bridge. Destroying the bridge. The commissioner budged and a settlement was agreed upon. What bridge is this? The contractor, when he said that you won't get so much as a nickel out of me, the contractor said, contractor responded with getting an injunction against destroying the bridge. Rahul.
If I answer and it is like if I
Rahul,
answer
give me your
and,
best answer. I'll tell you all of that later. You don't get negatives immediately.
London Bridge.
Passes to Shubham.
Is this Howrah Bridge?
Is incorrect as well. Both of you giving a wrong answer. There's nobody attempting on the buzzer. Like I said, the contractor responded with getting an injunction against destroying the bridge. The contractor himself said that he cannot be destroying the bridge because the original purpose of creating this bridge was to blow it up. And that was for the purpose of bridge on the River Kwai, bridge built by L&T, the commissioner in this question for the bridge being the producer of the film, Sam Spiegel. So this was the bridge on the River Kwai, right, which was built in Sri Lanka, emulating a bridge in the Southeast Asia. Right, so no points there to anyone on this question. That brings us to the end of this round as well. We'll take a look at the scores before we proceed to the final one. And even before that, I have an audience question for our participants, for our audience members. All right, audience, here's your question. If you've already answered the question previously, and if we've declared you, I'm guessing we declare you winners later, but you can still feel free to give an answer, but we only declare one winner per quiz every day, every time. But out of the three questions that I asked, here's question number 2. Which American inventor and statesman was the first person to set up the first of its kind property fire insurance in Philadelphia in 1768 under the name Philadelphia Contributorship? Right. So which American inventor and statesman is this? Set up a property fire insurance in Philadelphia in 1768 under the name Philadelphia Contributorship. Right. So that's the question. Please head over to Twitter. Give the answer under the very same tweet where we posted this question, and then come back and we'll continue with this quiz. Right, so I think we should continue now. Let's take a look at the scores after the end of 3 rounds as we head into the penultimate round. Currently, it's Subhasish who's leading with a score of 20. Rohan's now moved back, but not by too much. He's at 17. And then we have 3 of you at 5 each. So that's Anand, Ayush, and Rahul. All of you at 5 each. And Shubham, you fall behind. You go back to -5. So those are the scores after the end of 3 rounds. But all this can change, although there's a lot of scope to change as well, because, just 3 points separating our 2 leaders and 15 points separating the top 5. So it's anybody's game. We move on to our final round of quizzing. This is round number 4, and it's called Triple Trouble. There's 5 questions, all on the buzzer. 15 seconds of time on the buzzer. 3 attempts allowed per question. And you also have a choice of stepping up or stepping down. If you step up, you give a right answer, you get a 20. If you step up and give a wrong answer, you get a -20. You step down, give a right answer, take +5. Wrong, get only -5. But if you don't say anything, or if you happen to say step up or step down after giving the answer and not before, I will consider giving points or taking away points on the basis of default. In this round, you will only see visuals on screen. You won't see text of the question on screen. But if you happen to know the answer just by looking at the visual, be my guest, give the answer, decide to step up or step down. The decision is yours. All right, if you're all set, 5 questions on the buzzer, 100 points to be won. First question common to everyone on your screen now. Please identify. It is the first of its kind in India and uses the tagline, "A week in Wonderland." On the buzzer is Rahul.
Yeah, yes, it is the cruise offered by IRCTC.
Called?
called I think Palace in Wheels. Palace on Wheels.
My question. It is the first of its kind in India and uses the tagline "A Week in Wonderland." Its cost is $3,500 to $12,600. What is this the tagline of? I could see Rahul struggling with that answer, but eventually was able to give the answer. The answer is indeed Palace on Wheels. That's well done. You get a default plus 10 on that one. Is that a grimace because you wanted to step up?
Yes.
But
Yes,
your answer didn't seem to be too confident, so I'm just happy.
I was
for
sure
you.
about IS.
I'm happy for you personally, but sure you can be hurting inside as much as you want, but you still have 4 more questions. So hopefully, maybe next time you'll keep your adrenaline rush in check, and you'll remember to step up or step down, whatever the case may be. 10 points this time to Rahul. Next up, number 2. Who is seen here displaying his technological prowess to Napoleon Bonaparte? So impressed was Napoleon, he created a 50,000 franc prize in his honor. On the buzzer is Ayush from Ernst & Young.
I'll step up and say this is Volta, and he's showing his cell.
Your answer is Volta. He's
Yeah.
showing his.
So voltaic cell, so galvanic, I can say galvanic cell. So
Is correct. That's the answer that I was looking for, and well done on stepping up as well. Ayush gets you a plus 20 on that one. This was indeed Alessandro Volta showing his galvanic cell as correctly identified. Napoleon was a big fan of him as a result, and he even announced a 50,000 franc prize in his honor that ran for a few years till eventually it was discontinued. That's well done, Ayush. Gets you a plus 20. You've accumulated a few negatives in this quiz, but now you get a big 20 there. Next up, number 3. These books are from a set of special romance titles. On the buzzer is Subhasish.
These books are in collaboration with NASCAR.
All right, my question. These books are from a set of special romance titles released by Harlequin. Which entity that is rooted in Prohibition era bootlegging did Harlequin partner with to publish this book series? Your answer is NASCAR, and that is absolutely correct. Well done, Subhasish. Gets you a plus 10, and you're shaking your head too. Why is that?
Step up. Didn't step up.
You did not step up. Oh dear, guys, please keep that in mind. Gents, you have to keep that in mind if that is your strategy to win this quiz. But nevertheless, Subhasish gets you a 10-pointer this time. Well done. It was indeed, or it is indeed NASCAR. Now to the next question. Here is number 4. 2 questions remain, 40 points to be won. Although all 3 questions till now have been answered, still have a feeling it is anybody's game. We'll see. Here's number 4. What design choice is common to each of these, which can be seen as a bias? Team participant 4, this is Ayush from Ernst & Young.
I'll step up.
Sure.
And say these are all biased against left-handers.
Why?
So, I mean, if you see the classroom desk, so it's only beneficial for people who write with left hand, and for the left hand, there is they have to struggle.
What about the others?
Same with the watches, so the dial is on the other hand. Same with pockets.
All right, my question was, what design choice is common to each of these, which can be seen as a bias against a certain set of people? Your answer is that they're all biased against left-handers, and you stepped up on that. That's a good answer there, Ayush. Well done, the national runner-up, presenting a strong case for himself to qualify yet again for the national final. That's a good answer there, Ayush. They're all inconvenient to left-handers, but all favor right-handers, right? Good answer. Ayush gets a plus 20. That's very good. Right. One moment. So, Ayush, you move up to a situation of comfort. Is that so? I think that is so. Right? Ayush, is my math correct? You move to a situation. No, but then there's a first prize and then there's a second prize. All right. ignore what I'm saying. So that can still happen and you can still be challenged for that, right? So it's not just qualification. 2 of you qualify, but it's not just about qualification. There is discrepancy in the prizes for the first and second. Now, here's the final question of the North Zone round on your screen now. 1, 2, 3, 4. What is this? The chronological order. In chronological order of invention, on the buzzer is Rohan. You've hit the buzzer. I need you to tell me this is a chronological order for what? Rohan, please unmute and answer.
Were you going to say something else beyond that?
Well, you've hit the buzzer already, Rohan. I need an answer.
Yeah, I'll step up.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm stepping up, yeah?
Yeah.
So I'll say this is for Google versions.
Google versions. Can you explain?
Or code names in which these appeared. So I think that may be like a Google Wave. Number 3. 1, I'm not sure. Maybe the
Rohan, I'll stop you here because it's way off. That's a -20 there because you stepped up, and I know that you stepped up for the sake of the pressure of the scoreboard. But I'll continue. In chronological order of inventions, these are considered to be the harbingers of industrial revolution. What are these pictures representative of? Harbingers of industrial revolution. What are these pictures representative of? You can take a step down, you can play default, you can take a step up. All these options are available. Right, nobody taking it, letting it go. So we'll close it here just with Rohan getting a -20 on that one. The answer that I was looking for, harbingers of industrial revolution, is the key part that I said in that. Are textile looms. So flying shuttle, spinning jenny, that was Jenny McCarthy, water frame, and spinning mule, right? So that's what I was looking for. These are all textile looms is the answer that I was seeking from our participants. Unfortunately, it did not come from anyone. And that's it. Beautiful quizzing, a wonderful exhibition of grit and determination. Thank you for satiating our desire for a fiercely competitive day of quizzing. We will take one final look at the scores and identify the winners and qualifiers into the national final, but that will have to wait. For now, I have a question for the audience. All right, audience, final question for the day. In November 2011, the Economic Times came up with the headline, X ends, Y begins. X ends, Y begins, about the suspense surrounding the taker for the top job in a certain company. In October 2016, the headline read thus, Y ends and X begins. About the end to the tenure of X, what rhyming and alliterative words are X and Y? So two-part question. What rhyming and alliterative words are X and Y? So audience, please head to Twitter, give the answer there. And when you do that, remember to hashtag it with Udaan 2021. When you do that, after that, please come back. We have to declare the scores and we have a special guest coming for you. All right, I think it's time. I hope the audience is back. So at this point, I feel privileged in welcoming our guest of honor, Mr. Prem Singh, who's the President, Group HR at JK Organization. Sir is the North Region President of National HRD Network as well. He has an experience of over 30 years in the field and has won many excellence and leadership awards. Sir, we're all pleased to have you here and hear your thoughts. Sir, please.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you all can hear me.
Yes, sir, please.
Okay. Well, what a delight it was. I was very keenly watching this quiz that was going on, and what an engaging What an exciting event it has been. In fact, just to take a step back, National HRD Network organizes several learning events. There are conferences, there are case study competitions, there are presentations, there are panel discussions, there are several other learning sessions, and there are quizzes. What I have seen every time that the quiz events are the most engaging events because they keep everyone hooked on, they keep everyone challenged at all times, and the focus and the attention is the highest in the quizzing events. And therefore, that explains the highest number of participation this year in the last 10, 11 years that this competition has been in place. So my compliments to all the participants, my compliments to their organizations who have sponsored them, and I wish the best man or best team win the competition. I wish that the talent of the people comes to the fore, and I'm sure it will prove to be a very engaging and highly enriching experience in terms of not only learning, but also networking. Finally, I would like to compliment the organizers, Dr. Kamakshi Raman, the president of Ranchi chapter, the organizing team, the team that has been behind Mr. Shrimant Malik, Mr. P. Shaw, and most importantly, the Quizmaster, Mr. Ajay Poonia. In his own inimitable style, it has been a very, very exciting event. So may the best win again, and all the very best. And I'm sure all of us will find a lot of learning and lot of enriching in this whole event. All the very best. Back to you, the master, Quizmaster.
Right. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being here. Thank you for those words that you just shared with us. Right. Now it is time for the moment we've all been waiting for, the final scoreboard for the North Zone at the 11th Udaan Business Leadership Quiz on your screen now. I think there is a bit of delay, but while we get together with the scores, I'd like to thank the contestants for a fine competitive display. Thank you again to all our sponsors. The Udaan Business Quiz is presented by Steel Authority of India Limited, National HRD Network Ranchi Chapter, and National HRD Network. Our associate sponsor, NTPC Limited, zonal sponsors, Tata Communications and SMS Group, our national prize sponsor, Hexagon and MD India, and zonal prize sponsors, UPRNNL and Sarvesh Refractory. The prizes that the contestants will be receiving and the entire program today was brought to you courtesy the North Zone sponsor, SMS Group. Right, we're all set to take a look at the final scores. First, the participants which missed out on being on the podium and eventually qualifying for the national final, starting with 6th place. Right, this was Shubham Verma from SAIL Bokaro, finishing with a score of -5. Unfortunately, wasn't his day, but well done on qualifying for the zonal final in 5th place. 5th only because of the final risk that he really had to take because he was devoid of options. Had he not done that, there wasn't really any glory in finishing 3rd either. So this is Rohan Khanna from Barclays, finishing with a final score of -3. And then we have Anand, who finishes 4th with a score of 5 points. Well done, Anand from SAIL Bokaro. Then in 3rd place is Rahul, who did have an opportunity. He did lap up on the opportunity, but not enough. Did not decide to step up. So as a result, he finished 3rd with a score of 15. But all of you stay at home with a prize of rupees 5,000 each. So well done to each one of you. But now for our qualifiers into the national final, representatives from the North Zone final, starting with 2nd place. He started strong, he maintained his position, but towards the end, it was the eventual winner who slingshot his way past. But well done. Congratulations to Subhasish Kispotta from SAIL Bokaro for finishing second. You win a prize of rupees 15,000 for finishing second with a score of 30 points. Congratulations, Subhasish. And our winner for the day, well done, coming from behind, is Ayush Awasthi from Ernst & Young. He was national runner-up last year, and this year I'm guessing his mission is right there, up there, to finish on top, to be the national winner this time. But let's not speak too far ahead of ourselves. For the moment, congratulations, Ayush Awasthi. I'll see you again in the national final. Our winner from the North Zone round is Ayush Awasthi from Ernst & Young. Well, wonderful performance there all round by both SAIL Bokaro and Ernst & Young. Congratulations, winners. Our appointment is due at the national final, and congratulations to all the winners of the audience questions as well, who've been tweeting their way to some gift vouchers. Well done to all of you. Well, that is that. I look forward to you joining again on 15th, that's day after, for the South Zone round. Oh, and if you've seen the qualifiers list already, it's a battle worth witnessing. And after that, I seek your presence for the final time this season at the national final on Sunday, the 19th. The competition is brewing, and it's brewing flavorfully. For now, on behalf of the Udaan organizing team, I hope we could bear off your Monday blues, and you have a fabulous week ahead. Goodbye for now.